Hello and welcome to Richwoods High School. My name is Caden Sexton. Along with me is Gabe Hawoka. Gabe, it's time for Richwoods and Belleville East to battle it out for a sectional title. Both of these teams haven't seen a sectional title in the last several years, one going over a decade, the other since 2018. What does each team need to do tonight to pick up their first sectional title in a long time?
Yeah, Caden, I'm really excited for this game because both teams have worked really hard to get to this point right now, and now you are one win away. It's win or go home, and it's going to be such a fun matchup between these two teams. Belleville East is a very just fast-paced team. They want speed and chaos when they are on the offensive side of the ball, and also want to put as much pressure as they can on the defense so the Knights don't get into rhythm. But Richwoods, they want to control and have defensive structure, which is what they have done the entire season so far. And I was here on Tuesday and saw Richwoods play against Moline, and their defensive pressure the entire game, the whole way through, is going to be just crucial for their success here in this one against the Lancers. And I'm really excited to see how both teams play out today.
Yeah, most certainly, Gabe. When you look at the lineup for the Richwoods Knights, you have a junior in Kayla Haran, a senior Haley Davis, a sophomore Kanaya Todd, a junior London Somerville, and a senior Kira Lee to round things out. Richwoods, of course, playing on their home floor, something very rare to see in a sectional game, but they are coming into this game as the quote-unquote visitors to the Belleville East Lancers, but there are no visitors in this building, Gabe.
Yeah, and this energy that Richwoods brings to every single game, as I said, Tuesday was the first day that I saw this community all come together for the first time in person, and just the energy that the student section brings, all the parents that come out here to support these kids every single day. It feels like it's an unfair matchup for the Lancers coming in, but we know they are a tough team with a lot of grit. They're going to come out here and just try and play spoiler for the Knights while they are on their home turf today.
Yeah, and for the Lancers, it's going to be Bartelheim, Gray, Stacy, Brock, and Yun to round things out for their starting five. This should be a very interesting contest. Both these teams have not had an easy season. Only one common opponent between the two, and that was Peoria Notre Dame, last year's state runner-up, and they both earned a victory over the Irish. So we should be looking forward to an incredible game right here in Richwoods.
Yeah, I'm really excited just to see both these teams play out. You know, as you said, both teams play P&D, their only common opponent, and it was very similar scores for both games. We saw them both score about 55 points, and we saw the Lancers play a little bit better defense against P&D, but you know, this is a sectional title game, and it's going to be a fun one.
Somerville wins the draw for the Knights, and we are on the way here for the sectional, and immediately a steal by Yun for Belleville East. She came in and took away the inbounding pass off of the jump ball. Now the Lancers wearing white, trying to make a first stand here in Richwoods.
And we saw immediately right there just the quick pace that the Lancers are going to come out here on defense and now trying to push to get a quick score.
Gray trying to pass in the corner to Stacy, but Stacy wasn't able to call it in. Instead, it'll be a turnover for the Knights.
Maybe there was a little bit too fast-paced there for the Lancers. Now the Knights have a chance to get the first points of this game and try to set the tone here early on.
7:30 here in the first quarter. We're in Peoria, Illinois. It's a 2.5-hour drive for Belleville as far as your house is from the school for the Knights.
Yeah, coming out here to Peoria, it's not an easy environment to come out here and win.
There's a missed shot by Haran, but fighting for the ball down low was Brock and was Todd, but it ends up going to the Lancers.
And Haran last game scored 13 points and had 3 big three-pointers for the Knights coming out in the second half. She was a big reason for their success last game, and one of the things that I talked to her about was just how much.
It was a full court press, but they were able to get an open look at a three, and it was no good. Knights ball.
When I talked with Haran last game, you know, the one thing she said was their defense is what makes their success to this point, and they're going to try and come out here and win.
In the paint, left hand over the head, it's Kayla Haran. As you just said, 13 in the last game. She makes it 2-0 with 6:40 to go. Now in the paint, Somerville didn't have to move. She got the ball pretty much handed to her on the Lancer drive. Now the Knights looking the other way, and it's going to be Lancer fans want to travel. Instead, it's going to be a foul on Belleville.
And, you know, last game we saw there just a quick steal from the Knights on the offensive pressure from the Lancers. That's the thing that I saw on Tuesday as well. Just a lot of steals. They're going to put a lot of pressure on full court press this entire game. They're going to make sure that the Lancers do not have a chance to get into rhythm.
And a steal there by Gray on the inbound. She's going to go floor to the other end of the floor, but she gets fouled underneath the basket.
And again, right there as well, the Lancers also putting as much pressure on the defense, getting the steal their own. Now they have a good chance to try and tie this game up with 6:25 left here in the first period.
2-0 for the Knights. Lancers looking for an inbound. Not able to find somebody, trying frantically. They are able to get somebody at the top of the key. Now it's Gray. She loses the dribble on her own foot, picks it up herself before it crossed half court. Now the Lancers into the post, and the whistle comes before the shot. It's going to be a foul on the Knights.
And the Knights have found themselves in a lot of foul trouble so far this season. You know, when I saw them on Tuesday, again, that was the one thing they struggled with, was getting a lot of fouls. They got into the double bonus a few times in that game, honestly, and I think that's one of the things that Coach is going to talk with them about, try to get them to play just clean defensive basketball.
Gray trying to feed it down low. Thankfully for Brock, she was able to corral it. Now she's trapped in the corner. The Knights, 3 on her. They're going to get a jump ball with Somerville. The student section right behind them is going nuts.
And just that student section right there, right behind her, there's a lot there. And with them being loud, you can't really hear the communication that is on the court between your teammates or your coaches just because of how loud and how energetic this crowd is. Words can't describe what this energy feels like right now, Caden.
The possession arrow was to the Lancers. Now down low in the paint, backdoor, and it is Ramaya Yun, the first bucket for the Lancers. With 6 minutes to go, it's a 2-2 game.
And that was a beautiful offensive possession for the Lancers. Able to get the jump ball, maintain possession, and finish at the rim in the paint. Beautiful work to tie this game up.
Haran with a drive down low, but Gray was able to stand her ground in the paint. It stays with Green, but a nice defensive stop there down low for cementing a place in the paint for the visitors. I'm going to call them the visitors because they're playing on the other team's home floor, let's face it.
Even though they are in their home whites, they are the visitors right now with this environment and playing on the Knights court.
And a little bit of a travel down low. Travel there by Hall down low, and so, by Todd, and so now the ball goes to the Lancers. Full court pressure, serving a little bit of a problem, but they're going to get across. Not without a foul, though, that time on Haran, her second quickly, Gabe.
And again, here we go again with the foul trouble with the Knights. Second foul for Haran, and I believe that is the the second foul for the Knights.
Yeah, second foul and second on her. Now Kamaija Hunt, the senior, comes in to take her place. It's a very loaded team. I mean, both these teams have made it to a sectional, and for good reason, but doesn't mean you want one of your stars on the bench very early in the quarter.
Not at all, Caden, not at all.
5:15, Gray drives, too hard of a shot. It goes in and out of the bucket. Now the Knights flip the floor.
Being able to get that defensive rebound and get into transition is going to be big for the Knights.
Now Richwoods trying to find an open look. This Belleville defense is in man, and they're playing tenacious. Now with a hard contact, down low was Sophie Varda. Varda's pass, though, a little bit too hard in the corner to Davis. Goes out of bounds, Lancer ball.
And one thing I want to give props to the Lancers about is it's a 2.5-hour drive, and they got a nice crowd here right now to make some noise. They've been with this team the entire way, and it almost just having that support on the other side, and it feels like they're just as loud as the Richwoods crowd as well.
They've got about a quarter of this gym sectioned off for them. If we're talking total people in this building, I would say about a fifth are rooting for the blue and white. Gray gonna make a drive, right-handed hook. She banks her first bucket of the day. 4-2 Lancers with 4:25 to go.
First lead of the game for the Lancers early on. Now they have set the tone.
Quick transition. They got Somerville under the hoop. She got it poked out of her, so she poked it back, and they're going to call a foul on London.
And that's a good foul right there, being able to just slow down the offensive pressure from the Lancers. But again, that is 3 quick fouls for the Knights so far. and with only 4:16 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, if they let her go without a foul, they would have had a clean breakaway. Those are the fouls that if you're Coach Shamar Hill, you got to say, all right, thank you for doing that one. We can now readjust and we can keep it going. Belleville East trying to run with their centers in the middle of the court and find somebody open on the arc. This time it is Brock, but she dishes it back to Stacy. Stacy's drive too hard on the front of the rim, but she gets her own rebound and a foul called on the green and white.
Yeah, and just another foul for the Knights. That's definitely something, if you were Coach Hill, you do not want your team to be giving up a lot of fouls early on and get the Lancers some quick free throws at the line. Right now they're in some foul trouble.
Gray with a quick inbounding pass. She streaked into the zone and in the paint, and she got it. Now Hill is going to use his first time out of the game early. 6-2 Lancers with 3:45 to go here in the first quarter. But Gabe, 4 minutes, 4 fouls for the Knights, including 2 to Kayla Huron.
That's definitely something that you don't really want if you're the Knights, because Kayla Huron last game, she was a big reason for their success. She was pretty much their leading scorer and really just let it go. And this game, so far 2 quick fouls, and you already have 4 as a team in this quarter. You don't want to get into foul trouble too early, because if you are the Lancers and just how good you are going to take advantage of those opportunities.
Richwoods enters today's game 24-4. They had a perfect 10-0 record in the Big 12 Conference. They're 7-1 in home games, 9-2 in neutral games. Take a look at the Belleville East Lancers, 27-5 on the year, 11-2 in the Southwestern Conference, but their last game was beating that number 1 team, Alton, who they had lost to twice in conference play, to be here tonight, beating them in the last round, 10-1 away, 7-3 neutral.
And that win against Alton for the Lancers was a real statement win for them. They lost to them twice in the regular season. They came out for revenge, and they beat them in the most pivotal moment of their season. And now they are looking to try and win here on the road. I shouldn't say on the road, but it really feels like they are.
Stacy with a steal, and on the transition, Ramaya Young able to get her second bucket of the day.
The Lancers have done a great job just slowing down this Knights offense and getting some transition points off those turnovers. If you're the Knights, you're looking to try and slow down the turnovers and get some buckets.
And an and one for Kanaya Todd. Todd just walked her way into the paint, used her back, pushed the defender, making sure she had a clean and open shot, and made it.
And that was beautiful work there by Todd, driving along the baseline, shoving, getting the foul, and putting it up for an easy layup and draw the and one. Now you have a chance to make this an 8-5 ball game if you make this from the charity stripe.
The foul was 100% deserved. It was just the fact that Todd forced a foul to be made while creating herself a very open shot is what made it a marvelous play. Her free throw was a miss. Now a ferocious pressure by the Knights, and they're going to get the tip ball, but no Knight is there to pick it up. So it stays with the Lancers, although Todd was able to poke it away. The sophomore proving her worth there on the court.
Yeah, and Todd has had just an incredible season. Even though she is only in her sophomore season, she has done a great job. She has been one of the best players in all of 4A, honestly, and really just been a big reason for the Knights' success this season. And we saw right there, she plays the entire way and aggressive, able to just poke that away and try to get the ball back for her team. She's going to make plays for her team.
Lancers kind of give a Hail Mary pass just to try and get out of a corner trap, and they find Green. And so the Knights, with 2:30 on the clock, are trying to go down low. Nobody's available, but Somerville makes a great play. No, they're going to call her out of bounds. Gabe, that was a close call.
That one, I don't know about that one, Kate. They call her out of bounds. I thought she jumped way before the line and was able to save that, but what the ref says is what goes. So nonetheless, Lancers ball with 2:25 left here in quarter number 1.
3 Zebras out here today have made their whistles known, but by no means anything egregious. Fans, of course, have their opinion, but again, nothing's been non-acceptable so far. Haley Gray just drained a 3 for the Lancers. So with 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, it's an 11-4 lead for the visiting Belleville East Lancers.
And this is the kind of start that the Lancers were looking for, is to come out here and start early, and they have done just that. 11-4 right now with less than 2 minutes to go. You are setting the tone early and really putting pressure on this Knights team.
Todd put her head down and went to work in the paint. She just wasn't able to find rim, and the Lancers made it. This is a Curry range three, and it's a splash by Haley Gray. Her back-to-back threes put her at 10 of the Lancers' 14 points.
Haley Gray there with just a deep shot there, as you said, Curry range. That was something the Knights were not expecting her to pull off, but she did it nonetheless, and really just setting the tone right now early.
I mean, they were not aggressively guarding her. They gave her plenty of space, and that's because she was probably a good 4 steps, if not more, from that three-point line.
That was some crazy range there from Gray, and puts her team up by 12 points.
Foul drawn by Kendall Butler. So now to the line is Somerville for the Knights. She makes her first, but Gabe, what do you even say right now if you're Coach Shamar Hill after just watching Gray make a three that put them down now because of the free throws by 8 as Somerville makes both?
I mean, you got to tip your cap to her. I mean, she made 2 incredible shots, but you also got to keep your team's head in the game as well. And just tell them that you got to step up on that, put a hand up, get some sort of pressure. You can't leave her wide open because she's going to make you pay if you leave her just even a little bit of space.
Richwoods forgoed the full court pressure, and that pass from Gray went between the wickets of the woman out there. She was trying to get her pass to, and so now with a minute to go, it's 14-6 Lancers. Knights have the ball. It's Haran back into the game for the first time since her second foul, and she steps out of bounds along the baseline back to the Lancers.
And I think that the Knights are definitely looking for Haran to try and start getting going as well. You know, she's had kind of a slow start to this game with a few fouls, and you know, last game she was pivotal to their offense, so they're definitely going to be looking for her to try and, you know, get back in her rhythm to get it going and get this offense something going here.
40 seconds to go in the quarter. The Lancers are not trying to take the last shot, but they are clearly trying to pass around and find a open look. Now driving into the paint was Bartelheim. The sophomore misses on the front of the iron. Now a quick shot here on the other side of the floor for Todd. She gets fouled. Will go to the line for 2.
And Todd again drawing another foul in the paint. That's going to be essential for this team to try and draw as many fouls. Again, Lancers play some aggressive defense on the perimeter and in the paint as well. Try and draw that foul, get to the charity stripe, get some free points for your team.
Well, Gabe, you see Todd there on the stripe. We just were talking about how Kayla Haran had 2 fouls. That's the second foul for Gray. I don't imagine us seeing the Lancers pull her with just 25 seconds on the clock, imagining they'll take the last shot with her, but something to keep in mind as we go along.
Yes, definitely. You know, both these teams, you know, 2 of their top players in, I don't really want to say foul trouble, but, you know, 2 quick fouls for both of them so far in this first quarter. Definitely something to take note of because both those players are crucial for their offenses, and they get fouled out. It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough loss for both teams, especially in a game like this with so much on the line.
Todd makes them both. It's a 14-8 game. 13 seconds on the game clock. Gray puts up a weak shot. She gets it down into the post. Collected by Brock into the post and a jump ball. So Richwoods will have 9 seconds to try and make something happen.
This is a great moment for them to kind of shift the momentum into the Knights' favor right now if they're able to get the last second shot.
Some quick trends, a couple changes for the Knights. They're going to try and move quickly here. 6 seconds to go. Todd driving in the paint, she holds up, 2 seconds, finding somebody. Shot is off just a hair in time, but it doesn't go in. It hits the rim, but doesn't drain into the bucket. Gabe, give us your first quarter thoughts as Lancers are up 6.
I really like the way the Lancers have come out here in this one. Again, it's a tough environment to come out and get something going on offense. The crowd is loud. The communication may not always be there, and there's a lot on the line for you and for the Knights. But the way they just came out here and dominated that first quarter, and got the turnovers when they needed them and made the Knights pay when they made a mistake. That's going to be huge for them going into the rest of this game. And for the Knights, it's all about just playing some clean basketball. You had a few turnovers, a couple missed shots that maybe should have went in, but it's all about just cleaning those mistakes, and that's definitely what Coach Hill is going to be talking about in his team in the huddle right now. Just slow down the pace. You don't have to go too fast, and you still got a long game ahead of you.
This is the crowd you hope for at a sectional game. You have a student section that doesn't have a gap, a full band behind us that are playing loud and proud, the cheerleaders out on the floor. Even Belleville East got 5 cheerleaders down there for them. It's the environment you're looking for in a sectional game, but now it plays to an advantage of Richwoods because of it being on your home floor with all those elements I just stated.
Yeah, and like I said, like I said earlier, words cannot describe what this environment is like here. The crowd is loud. The band is, playing immaculate behind us, and just everything that this environment brings. It's kind of hard to bring it into a radio broadcast only.
Lancers will get first control of the basketball here in the second quarter. As we were just mentioning, the crowd even more filing in. There's not much room in the lower bowl left to be taken. A mid-range shot falls for Ramaya Young, her 6th point. Her and Gray, the only 2 Lancers to score in this game.
And Ramaya Young there with a beautiful fadeaway. Found some space. It looked like Magnolia Lee, the freshman center, who had a big game last game.
Down into the post. First shot doesn't go for Magnolia Lee, the freshman, but she's able to collect her own rebound and then gets charged a jump ball.
One of the things that Magnolia Lee does well is being able to rebound. I saw her last game. She had a lot of offensive rebounds, gave her team a lot of second chance opportunities to score, and that was a big reason for their success. And honestly, you don't really see that from a freshman in a big game like that as well. So she's making her statement in Richwoods basketball.
Well, the ball was a little bit loose, and so Haley Davis, the senior for the Knights, dove after it, and she was the last to touch it as it went out. Hit the floor pretty hard. Belleville's coaching staff making sure she's okay as she gets up. Now Gray at center court gets picked off by Todd. Todd and Davis making that turnover, but missing the basket as well. So the Lancers are going to progress this basketball to the other end of the floor. Gray thinks about another 3. Instead, she's going to calm things down, slow up, wants to drive, able to make an awkward shot attempt. It looked good, but went left. Now in a quick transition, Todd down low, tries to draw a foul, doesn't get it, but does land the bucket.
And that is a tough shot there for Todd, hands in her face. It's not an easy shot to make it, but she made the shot count when it mattered the most. 16-10 game with 6:30 left here in the second quarter. This one looks like it's going to be set up for good.
Sophomore Todd on defense of Gray, but it's a 3 from Sophia Cooper, the junior whose name we haven't called yet, that makes it a 19-10 game with 6:15 to go.
The Lancers shooting on all cylinders right now from behind the arc. Big shot there to go up by 3 possessions.
Somerville just misses the ball. Richwoods trying to just keep their momentum, keep strong consistency on the floor, but a whistle comes. Belleville East thinks it's on them, and they would be correct. Brock getting her 2nd foul. And it's a lot of booze in this environment for it being at Richwoods. A 2.5-hour drive, but the Lancer fans, if we haven't said it enough, are making themselves loud and known.
And that's definitely big for the Lancers, being able to have that support and have your fan. There might be some family, some friends out there that are supporting you. Being able to just hear their voices or see them in the crowd gives yourself a little bit more motivation to play at the best of your ability to try and win in front of them.
Magnolia Lee got blocked. She looks like she's the tallest one on the floor, and her shot was blocked. An air ball 3 for Stacy, and you can hear it from the student section. Ball went out of bounds, and so Richwoods will have it back.
And Richwoods has done a good job so far in this quarter getting some points on the board, but the Lancers have done also a great job just responding to that. We saw that big 3 that they were able to put themselves up by 9 right now.
A steal for Gray. She's going to try and go coast to coast. Instead, she passes out. Ball runs around the rim for Ramaya Yun, but the whistle comes and the ball falls. So it'll be 2 shots for the sophomore.
With 5:27 left here in the second quarter, that is the first foul for the Knights. They're doing a good job controlling the foul game right now. Playing a lot of clean defense.
The senior Haley Davis for the Richwoods Knights with the second foul. With 5:27 to go, we will see the first free throws of the day. Yun makes her first. There's another game going on right now on Clutch Sports Media. Our friends Jonathan and Dalton are up watching Washington and Galesburg, and with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, our last update has Washington leading 23-7.
Wow.
Second free throw good for Yun. Washington was definitely the state's favorite coming into the postseason, but they're making light work of this playoffs.
Yeah, and Galesburg is a great team as well.
They're one of the best in state.
They are a really good team over there, and Washington just making it known, able to come out here, but
a missed shot for Richwoods, but they get back-to-back rebounds. Now a foul drawn on Hunt for the third attempt. Also no good.
And again, being able to draw that foul for the Knights is going to be key for their success. As I said, Lancers are a very aggressive team, especially when the ball gets into the paint. They're going to try and rip the ball out of your hands or try and block your shot. So take advantage of that aggressiveness and try to get to the line and get some free throws.
It's a very, very straight line free throw, if I do say so myself,
it was
Gabe.
a laser.
Yeah. 5:06 here in the second quarter, and it's a 21-11 lead for the Lancers over the Knights. One free throw good, the second a miss for Hunt. So this lead stays at 10. Quick transition, Gray has to control the ball before she steps out of bounds. Now the offense has to reset. Gray driving, pulls up for a mid-range jumper, and it's good, and a 12-point lead for the Lancers.
And Gray's shot is just so smooth right now. It feels like every time she puts up a shot, it's going to go in the basket. Lancers definitely going to be relying on her to try and hit those big shots, especially down the stretch.
Somerville hits the floor hard, her back arching right before, trying to hold on to that basketball. Did not look comfortable by any means, and a timeout called by Richwoods, down 12.
And these Lancers fans are really loud right now. You hear them cheering over the Richwoods student section, and they got a lot to cheer about. You're up 12 with 4:38 left here in quarter number 2. This is a game with a lot on the line, trying to win sectionals, trying to go out there and play for state. And right now you're in control of this game so far. There's a lot to be cheering about if I was a Lancers fan.
The last time that the Richwoods Knights won a sectional was back in the 2017-2018 season. That year, they went 35-1 in one Class 3A state.
Wow.
For the Belleville East Lancers, the last sectional win was 2005-6. Half this roster wasn't alive the last time they won a sectional. But for both of these teams, it's in Class 4A, the highest level and ranking you can be in for girls basketball in the state of Illinois. Richwoods hasn't seen Class 4A in the 20th century or 21st century. They've been in 3A for so long. First year getting promoted, and they're in a sectional game.
They have made some noise here in Class 4A. Coming out here, first season of 4A, you don't really expect a team that just comes into 4A to really make some noise or do a lot. But this team has a lot of grit. There's a lot of excitement going on for the Knights. And first year back at 4A, you're already playing for a sectional title. There's a lot to be excited about in the Richwoods basketball program.
Full court press back on for the Lancers. We thank you for listening to today's live and free coverage here on Clutch Sports Media. If you'd like to be a sponsor with us, you may always email clutchsportsil@gmail.com to try, and we would love to have you for a cheap sponsorship. It's a great way to include your name and spread it around the Peoria community. Sadly for the Peoria community, Kayla Haran just picked up her third foul, stopping a drive on a quick transition from Kendall Butler. The press was off for Richwoods ever since the start of the quarter. Out of the timeout, they brought it, and it burned them quickly.
Yeah, Coach Hill, like I said, he he brings a lot of pressure. He wants to make sure that the Lancers don't get anything going pretty quickly, but just with the talent that the Lancers have on their team with, shooting the basket, getting as much pressure on the offensive side and defensive side, they're going to make you pay because there's going to be someone open all the time, and they have the court vision to find an open woman in the court.
Well, it was a great foul for the Richwoods because both free throws were missed by Butler. Down low, Todd got the ball stripped out of her hands. However, it goes to Somerville, who got fouled. Now Somerville on the inbound gets fouled once more. Bartleheim got her second foul on the first Somerville foul. They have not yet put the number up for this new foul, but Somerville will go to the line for 2. And it's the third for Denia Bartleheim. The sophomore for the Lancers looking toward the bench for guidance as Somerville drains the first.
You got a lot of foul trouble here early on. Both teams just playing very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball, and that's going to happen a lot of the time. Is you're going to get a lot of fouls. You're going to play aggressive in that way, and foul trouble is definitely something that both coaches are going to be looking at.
1 for 2 for Somerville as the Lancers get through the pressure. Find Gray open in the corner. She falls on her 3. No foul. Out of bounds, and it's going to be a Knights ball. They're airballing in the student section, but Gray's got a lot to say to the ref on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like she may have gotten a little foul there. And it looked like there was some contact, but the refs didn't call it.
Got to play on.
Yeah.
4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Somerville's driving. There's 3 jerseys in white, but she's not able to make a shot. Her teammates get the rebound and are the last to touch it as it goes out of bounds.
23-12 right now here in quarter number 2 with 3:51 left. You're looking to try to get some stops on defense if you're the Knights, and Coach Hill get something going on the offensive side.
Somerville down low, able to make a steal in the paint. Now Richwoods trying to flip the script on this game with Todd, whose bucket goes in.
And a beautiful finish there from Todd, able to just put it on up. It rolls around the rim off the backboard.
Kanaya Todd with 8 points. Now it's Gray feeding down low. Gray might have as many assists as she would buckets if her players were making these shots that she's creating for them. That time the pass goes out of bounds, and it's Richwoods' ball.
Yeah, just the Lancers have done a great job with their ball movement so far. When we see them passing around the key a lot, finding an open man in the paint. That's something you're looking for, just to try and facilitate an offensive possession and get something going.
Richwoods with a 9-point trailing. They allow the Lancers to get a steal. That time a block, and it's going to be a travel on Belleville. So with 2:55, Richwoods continuing to make turnovers. That's one thing about this Knights team. They make mistakes, but then they're able to go and make a defensive stand.
Again, that's just how Coach Hill has taught his team is, play aggressive. And that's the one thing that Haran said, and when I talked with her on Tuesday, is they are a defensive team first. That is something that she wanted the world to know about this team, is they are defensive. They want to make sure they put pressure on you and don't get anything going. Even if they give up a turnover, they're going to get that ball right back.
Senior Kira Lee's got 0 points so far today. She had 13 in the last contest. That time she drags her foot. Pretty clear travel, as the officials call it. Now the Lancers are dealing with some trouble on this Knights side, and a timeout is forced to be called by Sharday King to prevent the 10-second violation.
And that's a good timeout there by Sharday King. Just being able to, the awareness to have that and call a timeout to make sure that you don't give up an easy possession for the other team. 23-14 left here in quarter number 2 with 2:37 left. And over the past 2 minutes of this quarter, I've really liked how the Knights played defensively. They've went out there, they have forced some turnovers, really haven't let the Lancers really pull away with the lead right now. Yes, they are still down by 9, but if they can continue playing this defense right now, they could get that transition to get some points on the board and reduce this lead.
Look, if we didn't have a first quarter, the Knights would be tied or just a point up or down right now. It's that lead that Lancers were able to make right off of the break of this game that Richwoods still hasn't been able to necessarily claw their way back from. That time, a quick pass to Gray. She wasn't able to hold on to it. A quick pass to Willis, the freshman, and then an immediate steal. Now down low, it's a bucket for Sophia Cooper. That's this problem right now, is they're making quick movements, and it's forcing turnovers on the other end of the floor. Belleville East now forcing a jump, and so the ball goes back to the Knights, but they're at least switching the arrow.
That is the thing about the Lancers, just coming out here, and yes, you have the home whites on. Yes, you seem like you are on the road, but you're going to play your game the entire way.
2:14 here in the second quarter. Somerville to Todd. Todd's going to try and start an offense. They're going to stand with the ball for a moment. The 25-14 lead so far for the Lancers.
Just trying to get something going on the offensive side of the ball for the Knights.
2 minutes on the clock, less than. Down in the paint, Lee lost it. Now, in transition, Belleville with an open shot, and the Lancers drain it. It's DeAsia Willis's first bucket of the day. The freshman finally seeing some action.
And Willis just really, with a nice move there, deked out the defender, faked the shot, was able to move back and put up an easy layup for the bucket. Extends the lead up to 13 now with 1:30 left here.
Three-point attempt, and it's good. It's the first three of this contest. That bucket drained by Hunt, the senior, trying to get a momentum change. Now a trap in the corner. Richwoods is able to get a turnover. Ball just goes all the way around the outside of the rim. Last one to touch it was the Knights, and so Todd's shot not for the benefit, but it's at least some momentum stirring up.
And that's exactly what the Knights are going to need to do. You are on your home court right now. You have your fans, everyone here to support you. You make some plays out there, get the crowd in it, get loud, and shift that momentum into your favor. We saw Hunt there with a great three to reduce the lead down to only 10, and then she was able to get a steal and almost was able to put together some 2 points for her team. That's what the Knights are going to have to do this entire game.
And another turnover, eliminating the passing lane there, was Lee to get a steal, and right again, a turnover in the paint. Quick offense turns into defense as the ball was passed way too hard and too out of reach. So a turnover now. It looks like Sophia Cooper, the junior for Belleville East, having some ankle issues. They're going to let the trainer take her out of this one. There's going to be a quick pause here to get a new player in for the Lancers. It's not something you ever want to see.
No, not at all. Especially in a game like this when you have played all season to get to this point, and you unfortunately get that little ankle injury, even if it's just, like a little tweak in your ankle. That's definitely something you do not want. You do not want that to become a bigger problem. So good work to get her out of the game. Just get her checked out.
She's taking off her shoe now. One ref has kickball, the other has a turnover, and they are going to change it to a kickball. That's getting the crowd to have its two different reactions, both very loud in this gym.
And you hear the boos raining down right now, and I think that was the right call from the refs.
I would have to agree with you, but we don't have replay review. Sadly. 20 seconds to go here, and Gray's on the floor, but it's Stacy, the ball carrier. A 10-point lead for the Lancers. They're trying to make it more. Stacy can't get an opening. She lost her dribble. Gets it back after the pass from Gray. Her shot not really grand. Now with 3 seconds to go, the Richwoods Knights are going to halt up a deep three, and it doesn't find anything. So at halftime, the Lancers lead 27-17.
Yeah, and what an amazing first half by both these teams. The Lancers are up by 10 points right now, but both teams have played amazingly on the defensive side of the ball, forcing turnovers left and right, trying to get fast break transitions to score some easy points. The Lancers have done that a little bit more efficiently than the Knights have, but it's going to be a fun matchup here coming into the second half.
both teams going to their respective locker rooms. Our 10-minute timer will start momentarily, and then we get to have some fun and chat with each other for 10 minutes, Gabe.
Hey, let's
we
go.
see each other 3 times a week in class, folks. Dakota Horns teaching people how to train people is basically what the class is about. But Gabe, instead of talking about that, let's talk about some basketball. How did the Belleville East Lancers get to this point in the season?
So the Lancers secured the number 2 seed and they came out and beat Granite City, who was the 7th seed, by a score of 60-23. So they dominated that game. But then they went out and played O'Fallon, who was the number 3 seed, and they had a 5-point win against them. That's a tough matchup right there, Caden, against O'Fallon. O'Fallon, a great program over there. And then on Tuesday, they played against Alton. Alton, they played twice this season and lost both games. Belleville East came out there and won by a score of 45-40, and that was a statement win for them because Alton is state ranked. They were a team that looked like they were going to be coming out here and dominating this entire bracket, but Belleville East ended their season pretty early, and now they are in this point right now trying to win a sectional title. And then when you look at Richwoods on the other side, they beat East Moline the first round by a score of 57-19. Dominant win for them. Came out against Rock Island, who was ranked 5th. Won by a score of 52-48. Very close game there, but were able to pull away. Their defense clutched up in that one. And then played Moline here on Tuesday and won by a score of 62-49. And that game, Caden, they had control the whole way. It started off with a mid-ranger from Todd, and they never looked back at that point.
The winner of this sectional will face the winner of Flossmoor versus Chicago Marist at Illinois Wesleyan Super Sectional on Monday night at 7. Gabe, as we enter halftime, what do each of these teams need to do to ensure they're in that contest?
Well, I think for the Lancers, you have done a great job so far in this one. It's all about just keeping the momentum, doing what you need to do, keep applying the pressure on defense, score on fast break opportunities, and take advantage of the mistakes that the Knights make. And the Knights on the other side of the ball, I know Coach Hill is going to be talking about this. They have fought and grinded this whole season the entire way. When I was talking with him on Tuesday, he said, we've worked all year for this. We are on the clock right now. This is their time, and he is trying to fire up his team. And it's all about just, it's all about slowing down those mistakes that you make, and trying to get trying to get your team going on the offensive side of the ball and take advantage of any mistakes that the Lancers make.
Well, Gabe, it looks like we've got the closer contest as coming out of halftime, it is 30-10,
Wow.
Washington beating Galesburg. Washington, we know, is a very, very, very good team, but Galesburg is no joke as well. And look, regardless of class, those are 2 of the best teams in the state, and Washington is putting their name in the cement right now as one of the best. But both of these teams have not had easy trips to get to this point in the season. Both have had very successful seasons. Richwoods, the number 1 seed in their side of the bracket. Belleville East, the 2, only to Alton because Alton beat them twice.
Yeah, no, and it's 2 teams that have just grinded the entire season. It's a fun matchup for both of them to be in this position right now and being able to experience it too. As a basketball fan, as someone who enjoys watching high school sports, being able to see both these 2 teams and just how hard they have fought the entire season playing in this position right now. Lancers are up by 10 points, but Richwoods, they got some fight in them, and I don't think they're going to go down without a fight.
The last time these 2 schools met was in 2018 of November.
Wow.
The season opener the year after Richwoods had the 35-1 state championship team, and it was a 73-46 victory for the Knights. I mean, that's a storybook right there. They haven't seen the programs haven't seen each other. I mean, Belleville East 2.5 hours away, so it makes sense that they haven't seen each other, right? But it's almost storybook that now you're going to face each other at Richwoods' home stadium in a tournament to decide who's going to the Super Sectionals.
Yeah, it really is just a storybook, story to write about. And, both these teams they have a lot going for them. Both their programs have done a great job with building teams and growing some amazing players that hopefully are able to go out there and maybe play in college someday. But right now they are looking to go out here and win this game and try to play for a state title. It's going to be a fun matchup. I'm excited to see what the second half has to offer, Caden.
Most certainly. Hey, we got the closer game out of the two right now.
I love it.
And we are enjoying every second of it. Only a 10-point game, and it's going to mean a very action-packed and a very strong second half. So make sure you don't go anywhere, folks. We're giving you live and free coverage here on Clutch Sports Media. You can listen to live and free coverage all season long, but to help us get more live and free coverage, we need your help. If you know any sponsors in the local Peoria area that want to support, whether it be Washington, whether it be Richwoods, whether it be any of the boys teams still in the postseason, to allow us to keep having some sponsorships and keep doing these games, please contact us at clutchsportsmedia@gmail.com. Let's take a look more at the visiting Belleville East Lancers. We know a lot about Richwoods. You've seen them all year long. You're most likely if you're a listener from the Peoria area. But let's go into this Lancer team. They are a team that has been able to learn from their mistakes. And they are having one of their highest seasons. Of course, yes, they haven't won a sectional since 05-06, and they haven't won a regional they haven't won a regional, of course, since 15-16 in Class 4A. I understand both those metrics, but think about some other things. They went 3-0 versus O'Fallon this year. The last four of the last 5 seasons has ended with a loss to O'Fallon.
Wow.
So they continue to rewrite history as the year goes on. Timmy, talk to me about this Belleville East team. They're defying expectations, but they've got a lot of great players, and they're proving, especially in this game, why they're defying those expectations.
Yeah, and this team, they've done just a great job coming out here and setting the tone early. I think Sade King has done a great job coaching these girls and being able to create some great basketball players. And the entire season, they have done a great job. I mean, they went 26-5 overall. They're 10-2 in their conference. Most of their losses came against state-ranked Alton. They lost twice against them, but a lot of their losses came against really top teams,
including Alton.
Yes, but when you look at the way that this team has just shaped up and where they have gone, they've went on a lot of winning streaks, and they've won by a lot of points as well. They are on a plus 25-point differential in their season so far, and that just goes to show just how dominant that team is. And there's a lot going for them in Belleville East, and I'm excited to see what the Lancers have for the future and how they are going to go, not just this season, but many seasons after this one.
Maybe it's just because of the tough competition in the postseason, but on the year, they average 60 points a game, and their defense only allows 36. In the playoffs, both numbers drop to 47 and 32. For the Knights, they average 57 a game, with their opponents only scoring 38. In the playoffs, 57 and 38. So in a 3-game sample size, nothing changes for the Knights. And oh yeah, on their home floor, it's 60 points a game, so just a 3 more.
Yeah, no, and both these teams do a great job with their offense and getting a lot of production from their players. Each and every person on this team can have a big game. On Tuesday, I was able to see Magnolia Lee, a freshman, go out there and have probably the game of her life. Had a lot of rebounds, scored 13 points for herself. Had just a statement game for her when her team needed her the most, and that was a big reason for why they won, because she was just able to do what she needed to do and played her role. Each and every one of these teams have players that can do that. It's not just star players, but the depth that they have.
And we talk about the home floor being 60 points a game this season, right? But in their last 5 games at home, the victories have ranged from 16 to 58 points.
Wow.
As a margin. When you're winning that dominantly, again, the last 9 games that the Knights have played in, they have came victorious. It shows that they're a very solid, strong basketball team that plays consistently and are going to come into this contest hungry to keep going, hungry to win that sectional, and hungry to just keep showing the world what they're made of.
Yeah, and the one thing that I talked about Coach Hill with on Richwood's side is this team is very connected. They hang out a lot after class. They go to the gym together. They go do different things together. They are very connected as a team. So that team chemistry is there. I mean, you see them even talking to each other over there in the huddle right now as they are getting set here to start playing the second half. They rely on each other. They rely on being with each other and knowing that and having that trust that your teammate can make a shot or that your teammate can make a play in a crucial situation. That is going to benefit them coming into this second half. And you already know that they got a fire lit under themselves.
London Somerville, the last one out there to take shots as the clock expires, so we will see action momentarily. Somerville, her father, of course, Marcellus, a big Bradley Brave alum, celebrating his birthday over the weekend at the Illinois State game where Bradley beat the Redbirds. Now, Somerville trying to lead her high school to the sectional championship. She saw her brother do so in 2024 with the third place state banner hanging here. A quick three for Belleville East, and it is made by Gray. Gray starts the second half with a triple and a long one nonetheless.
And this is exactly what we saw last time out when I was watching the Knights play against Moline. We saw Huron doing this, you know, with a few threes of her own, especially in the second half. And Gray doing the exact same thing to them right now, coming out hot from behind the arc. And they're going to be relying on her to be hitting those shots, especially down the stretch and heading into the final minutes of this game.
Lancers thought they had a turnover, but Bartleheim touched the ball with a foot out of bounds, so Richwoods gets to keep it. A three from Huron, and it hits the front iron. They are able to collect the rebound, however, in the wing. Down low, it's Somerville. She doesn't make the basket, but she gets fouled. She'll go to the stripe for two.
Drawing the foul early on here, getting to the line. Now it's crucial to hit those free throws. Try to close this gap as much as possible.
Saudia Brock, the 5'10 junior for Belleville East, picks up her third foul in the contest. Now to the line is Somerville to shoot two. Her first is no good. She is currently standing at 3 and 5 from the charity stripe. All three of those baskets on previous free throws. And I'm sorry, the three previous free throws are only baskets. Here's attempt number 4. She's 4 for 6.
Making the adjustments there, and that's exactly what you're going to be looking for, is making adjustments as the game is going on. The clock is not your friend right now when you're down by a dozen points. You got to make those adjustments. Try to put the pressure on the Lancers. Don't let them get any sort of momentum going on the offensive side of the ball like that right there.
And a steal for Davis. She goes coast to coast, but gets the ball tipped out of her hands by a Lancer. It's going to stay with the Knights, but a great defensive play in transition.
Yeah, she intercepted that like a cornerback in football right there. She was able to read the pass, take it for herself, and try to go the other end, but able to draw the foul, keep the possession in her favor.
And the inbound by Huron doesn't find anyone. Honestly, that was in a space where nobody could get to it but the white jerseys. And now a foul puts Belleville East's Gray on the line. Gray with 15 in this contest, and it's the third foul for the senior Haley Davis.
And again, we saw that turnover there. No one really in the vicinity to get that pass on the inbound. And the Lancers were just able to swipe that away, able to draw the foul on the other end of the court and get to the line. And those mistakes, they're going to have to clean that up a lot, especially late here in this game.
Davis is going to take a seat for the Knights to try and protect her from foul trouble. Both free throws go in for the Lancers. So now it's 32-18 with just a tick under 7. A three for Huron is in. Her first three of the day, just her 5th point. Now Gray nearly gets fouled from behind. She's going to slow things back down for the Lancers.
And a big three there from Huron, able to get her team and momentum and some noise back in this stadium.
A hard pass, and once more the Lancers just not able to get a ball with an opportunity because of these hard passes they're making on the floor. That one's going to go out of bounds, and the Knights get possession once more. Richwoods trying to erase as much of this deficit as they can. Huron's three's going to help.
The big three there from Huron. Do not let her get hot from behind the arc. This game is only within 8 right now, and you're looking to get a quick stop right now. The crowd is back in it. This is playoff basketball.
And it's a foul down low. that's one thing about this Richwoods team is they've got a lot in foul trouble, and that forced you to keep Haran on the bench for a lot of that first quarter. Then she felt scared coming back in that second quarter. She wasn't taking shots. Now, once she feels free and like she can just play basketball, she's draining them. That foul goes to Lee, her first for the Knights. The arena finally starting to make some noise for opposing free throws. The first good for Butler. Butler was 0 for 1 at the line. I'm sorry, 0 for 2 at the line last time. She drains her first.
And I want to go back to your point about Haran and getting that confidence back. That is the one thing that is big. It's having a coach and having teammates that give you confidence. And as I said, for how close this Richwoods team is and just how much coach just loves talking about this team and like does a great job with them and bringing them together and coaching them how to play Richwoods basketball, fires them up and gives them the confidence that they need to hit the shots when they need it, even when they are down.
Second free throw, no good, but Bartleheim, the sophomore, was able to get the rebound and put up a 2. Now, Yun gets another bucket after she was able to strip it from the Knights and go coast to coast. Back-to-back 2s, puts 5 unanswered for the Lancers following that Haran 3. It's 37-24. Down low, Lee gets a bucket for 2. That's the senior's first points of the game. It's now only 11 trailing for the Knights with 5:15 here in the third.
And really great job by the Lancers to respond to those 2 threes by Haran.
Gray with a nice 3, but just off of the back iron. Able to get the rebound is the Lancers. Feeding Bethlehem, but she has Somerville in front of her. Somerville blocks it, swats it, but Todd unable to come up with it. So now the Lancers were able to get control. Coach King did not like what was going on with the battling of the ball like a pinball machine, so she calls timeout.
Yeah, there was a lot of commotion going on there. Like, no one was able to gain control of the ball. It was just bouncing around just left and right. Couldn't really tell who was going to get possession of it at the time, but Lancers were able to get the ball back, keep it in their possession. 4:50 left here in the third quarter. Lancers up 37-26. This is a fun matchup, Caden. I'm excited. Both sides of the crowd are in it right now. Haran hitting those 2 threes really brought the Richwoods fans back into it, and the Lancers able to respond back of their own. Both fans, both teams are in it. This is a great environment.
This is a really fun game. The cheerleaders are getting the entire Richwoods student section to swag surf right now. They may be going 4 different directions, which I don't know how that's possible, but they're at least swag surfing and bringing the environment into this arena as you just described. But look, it's an 11-point game, but these threes are really making some clawbacks and getting you back into this contest. You can keep clawing as much as you want, but defensive stands are the true way to get yourself back into a contest, which they haven't been able to come up with for a couple possessions now.
Yeah, if you are able to hit those threes, yes, you do claw back into the game, but it all starts with the defense and stopping them. You're down by 11 right now. You need to get those defensive stops, put some pressure on the Lancers, just like that.
Aaron inbounding pass. Todd was able to come up with it. Now with 2 defenders, she tries to kick out and draws a foul. It won't be for shooting because it was on a pass, but Ramaya Yun, the sophomore, picks up her first. Yun's got 10 points in this contest.
I really like
they're going to give it to Gray.
Wow.
That's a 3rd foul for Gray.
Definitely got to watch that if you're the Lancers.
Sorry to cut you off there, Gabe.
No, you're good.
Very impactful foul as we get into this contest. Somerville backing down her opponent and getting the 2.
And they're going to be looking for Somerville to just use her height and strength in the paint, trying to get her team back and finish at the rim. Great work there by Somerville.
It was London's first points from the field in this contest. 4 minutes to go, and it's an 11-point game. We've said 11 a lot. Let's see if the Knights are able to claw back and make it less. They're able to make a defensive stand, and off the turnover, Richwoods is going to go down the floor. They've got Varda. Varda gets it back to Todd, and Todd gets her first second half points. It's a 7-point game.
And this crowd's just jolted with energy there. Big plays there. Great passing play from the Knights offense. Todd able to finish there at the rim. Only a 7-point game.
Gray kicks out. They're going to reset the offense. They're being tough on the ball handler. Other than that, looks like it's a man-to-man defense, but nobody else really getting that physical other than whoever is guarding the ball carrier. Now a drive for the Lancers off the back of the rim, grabbing the rebound and making the bucket is Bartleheim. Her second points of the contest. 39-30 with 3:15 to go here. Todd has to way back to tie her shoes.
And that's the one thing the Lancers have done really well is getting those offensive rebounds and getting second chance opportunities.
Quick bucket there from Haran. She gets the 2 to make it 7 once more.
Haran with just a beautiful floater there at the baseline. Just a soft little touch over to the defenders, able to find the basket. She's starting to get hot at the right moment.
Folks, you might want to call your friends and family because this is getting good here in Richwoods. A foul will go to Haley Gray. She will have to go to the free throw line, and the Richwoods Knights community doesn't like the call, or at least wants to make sure they know that the crowd or refs know they don't like the call.
And good work there to draw the foul and get 2 free throws for yourself to try and help your team out. She makes the first one to hit the 40 marker for the Lancers. 2:48 left here in quarter number 2.
Foul.
Magnolia Lee checks in for the Knights.
Somerville with the foul, her second. Both buckets are good for Gray. You talked about Magnolia Lee entering. She's got no points. She was a huge contribution in offensive rebounds in the game to get here against Moline. Haran drives, and it was nearly an and one. The bucket goes in and out, but she'll still go to the line.
That would have been a big basket there for Haran if she was able to put the ball in the basket there, but nonetheless, you still get 2 from the free throw line. You hit both of them, only a 7-point game.
Second foul for the senior Kendall Butler, and it puts Haran back to the line. This will be the 12th and 13th of free throws attempted by the Knights in this contest. They are currently 4 for 12. Excuse me, other way around. 8 for 12 as Haran makes the first and does not get the second. Quick transition for the Lancers, but a pull-up for Young. She gets the 2.
A beautiful work there from the Lancers. Young just a little quick stop and go there. Stopping at the mid.
Somerville in the paint, creating space. Shot no good. Lee not able to come up with it, but the Lancers are the last to touch, so the Knights are going to hold possession. 2:15 to go in a 10-point game.
Lancers have stepped up.
In the third quarter.
Lancers have stepped up here in this quarter. Knights have made a lot of noise today, especially with Haran with a few threes that she made and a couple of points there.
Somerville using her physicality down low, and now Magnolia Lee trying to show off her physicality. At least she grabs a jump ball if you're a Knights fan.
Lancers able to just stop Lee from getting an easy bucket there, force the jump ball. Stays a nice possession, but now the arrow switches on over to your possession.
Somerville kicks it out to Davis. Somerville with an and one. She is finally able to drain that bucket, and she gets the foul to go along with it.
And that's a big bucket there from Somerville. She's been a little cold in the paint, missed her last 2 or 3 shots, but able to find that one and able to draw the foul for the and one. To get back to a 7-point game if she's able to hit this one.
Somerville does hit it.
And a timeout.
2 minutes to go, and it's a 43-36 game. It's going to be a timeout for the Knights. Yeah, Richwoods calls the timeout. So
I think that's a good timeout there from Coach Hill. Just try to reset your team. They played very aggressive and done a great job here in this third quarter, so give them a little bit of a breather. You still have 2 timeouts to work with in that fourth quarter when you get to that point, but use one, slow your team down, get a drink of water, talk strategy with them. You got 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Finish this quarter strong. They have done a great job in this one. Able to call back.
All 5 starters for Richwoods have at least a bucket. Everybody having 5 or more out of the starting 5 other than Haley Davis. Go on the other side, and you see the Lancers. Haley Gray, the sophomore, and Ramaya Young, the sophomore, have a combined 72%, over 72% of the points for the Lancers right now. If Richwoods is able to just contain the two players, you're looking at the side switching, which they have been switching so far this half. I'll also note before I give you the talking stick back, Gabe, I really do enjoy how Richwoods has brought their band out. I haven't seen that yet at any of these home venues, even games that are hosted by teams that are playing on the floor. The student section is bigger than any I've ever seen, and the cheerleaders are getting in the student section to keep inspiring them. Now, Lancers with the ball, and they drive.
Again, it's all about just that environment and hyping the team up to try and get the momentum back in their favor. They're only down by 7, and because of the fans, because of the cheerleaders and the band doing everything that they can, this Knights team has done a great job clawing back in this one. Only a 7-point deficit at this point.
Some prolific passing from the Lancers, but the ball batters around the rim. It doesn't go. They get the third offensive rebound. Richwoods not able to protect the glass. Now the Knights trying to make a stop. The Lancers looking for an opportunity. They just keep passing it around, wasting clock. 1:10 here to go in a 43-36 game. Belleville East leads and holds possession.
Great work by the Lancers offense. Able to grab those offensive boards and slow down the momentum. The Knights have done a great job clawing back in this one, but the Lancers trying to cool them down a little bit. They are hot.
Gabe, I think this is your favorite play call. All of the bench was doing the 6-7, so I think Gabe.
That is my favorite.
It's it's going to be Gabe's favorite play call on the year. Let's see what play 6-7 actually means. So far, it's been about 20 seconds since we've seen that, and they have been holding the ball beyond the arc. Here they finally get it to Gray. Gray makes her way into the corner. Still no drives. 23 seconds. It's been a lot of time killing for the Lancers. They've drained over 90 seconds of, almost 90 seconds of clock now. 15 to go. Didn't think when they got the basketball they'd be taking the last shot, but with 10, I do believe so. Gray finds an open mid-range and gets fouled by Somerville. It'll be 2 shots.
And just an amazing offensive possession for the Lancers. Again, no shot clock, unfortunately, right now this season for IHSA basketball. And they're able to just abuse that and take advantage of it as much as possible. They wasted about almost 2 minutes of that clock the entire time after the timeout. And now you are able to get to the line for 3 free throws.
Yeah, how do you kill momentum? Well, let's just not let them play for a whole 90 seconds. That might do it. Haley Gray's got 1 3, but currently is 5 for 5 from the free throw line here in the second half. Over 90 seconds of clock, her and her team just drained. It was Somerville's 3rd foul, so now Somerville, Davis, and Haran all sit at 3 as Gray makes both.
And that gives us I think that's going to give us a little bit of a preview of what the Lancers are going to do the next quarter. You know, in the fourth, you got 8 minutes left, and a close game like this, you do not want the Knights to get back into it. You take advantage of not having a shot clock in that moment.
That one was a near half quarter, and it hits the top of the glass. 45-36, the Lancers lead as we enter the final 8 minutes of the game. Who will take home the sectional title and head to Illinois Wesleyan on Monday to keep their season alive? Gabe, this has been a story for the ages. You want to tell all your family and friends right now to get on Clutch Sports Media and listen into this one.
Yeah, this game is just, it's been full of ups and downs. It looked like the Lancers were going to pull away heading into this half, but the Knights have fight, they have grit, they have fought all the way to get to this, or all the way to this season to get to this point right now. They are not going to go down without any fight, and they were able to call back in this one and make it only a 9-point deficit. Put some pressure on the Lancers, and we saw the Lancers there in the last possession of the third quarter going and just, you know, trying to chew as much clock as possible because they might be a little bit scared of what the Knights have up their sleeve.
Most certainly, Gabe. It's been a very dominating game on paper for both sides have played a really, really strong game, but it's been a dominating game on turnovers. Both of these teams know how to make the other one squawk when it comes to holding the basketball and force possessions and force opportunity because of the opponent's mistakes. And that's something that, you know, normally whoever's able to win the turnover battle is able to win the game. I couldn't tell you who's winning the turnover battle because they're both so high right now.
It's tough. It's tough to figure out because we unfortunately don't have a stat keeper. We're keeping track of the stats ourselves, but
now some tenacious Knights defense on the Lancer inbound, forcing it to go out. Well, folks, we should be expecting all of our CSM listeners right here, right now, as Washington beats Galesburg 61-37, and we'll head to the Super Sectional. Congratulations to Panther Nation. Hopefully you're now here to see what's going on in Class 4A.
We just saw a quick foul there from the Knights. 45-36 here in fourth quarter. And I would assume if you were the Lancers right now, you're just trying to chew as much clock as possible. Pass the ball around. Do not let the Knights get the ball back. But we have seen the Knights as well get some turnovers.
There's a turnover right there on the inbound. Haley Davis, the one to catch the Lancers ball. Now Shield bring it up the other end of the floor. Haran in the post, off the glass for two.
Beautiful finish there. Able to work around the defender. Bank it off the glass for an easy layup and score 2 points for your team. Now you need to get some continuous stops right now. Clock is not your friend, so you're going to have to make some plays.
They got a trap in the corner, but it's going to be a timeout called by Belleville East. Haran only had 2 in the first half. She's had 11 so far in the second half. And we're only 7:25 into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been big for the Knights being able to get her going. As you said, you know, she had 2 quick fouls early in that first quarter, and she wasn't playing her game. She wasn't feeling as confident as she was, but then we started seeing her pulling up some threes, driving to the hoop, make some layups, draw some fouls. That is exactly what they needed her to do, and when they needed her the most, she stepped up and was able to do that.
This game's going to come down to which offense is able to break free from this mold of a defensive duel we've had going, as well as which coach is going to win, because 3 players have 3 fouls for Richwoods, and 4 players have 3 fouls for the Lancers. All the ones I'm just referring to are starters. And so you're going to have to start using your bench, you're going to have to start conserving your players, and you're going to have to start making possessions and creating opportunities without the whistle. As that time, the Lancers trying to just get the ball across the floor, nobody able to get it, and so the Knights with another turnover. That one kind of just lucky.
That one, those turnovers that the Lancers have had so far are ones that you do not want to see if you are Coach King, because your team just had a little bit of a miscommunication there here in the final minutes of this game. And with the way the Knights are playing right now, the way the crowd is in the game every step of the way, and just how energetic this place is and how they have been playing this second half, they're going to take advantage of those mistakes.
Somerville driving into the paint and forces a 4th foul on Saudia Brock, the junior. So Somerville using her body to create opportunities. She now goes to the line for free throws 20 and 21 for this team. She misses the first. It's a 7-point game with 7 minutes to go. The Lancers lead here in Richwoods. Winner takes home a sectional. It'll be the first time Richwoods has won since 2018, the first time since 2006 if the Lancers hold this lead. Somerville makes the second. Quick transition offense, and there's nobody there. They throw an inbound to a sea of nothingness, and the Richwoods Knights just blocking out and boxing the ball as it rolled out of bounds. Knights ball.
And that's the kind of play that you do not want to see if you're the Lancers right now or Coach King.
It is a silent crowd for those in blue. They make up about a fifth of this gym.
The Knights slowly clawing back right now.
And Haran with a pull-up jumper. She makes it a 4-point game. This is the closest lead that the Knights have, closest deficit the Knights have had since about 3 minutes in the first quarter. 6:30 here on the clock. 4-point game. Lancers driving into the paint, and an unguarded shot for Amaya Yun. She makes her 6th basket of the half, her 14th in the contest.
I saw her on there back off, so she didn't draw a foul there. Great work by her and great awareness.
Heron is going to draw the foul. Yun gets her first, so no harm there. Not going to be shots because it was before the shot that the foul came in. 47-41 ball game, 6:15 to go. Davis on the inbound, finds Todd in the corner. A three is good! Kayla Haran with the first three of the fourth quarter, and it's a 3-point game here in Richwoods. The Lancers trying to hold on to their lead on the road is what it feels like in a neutral site, however.
Kayla Haran with a huge three there to bring it within a 3-point game, and the crowd is in it right now yelling D up. This is exactly the environment that the Knights need to get going, and a missed shot there.
Gray, the only player in 20-point territory, just airballed. So with 5:45, Richwoods is going to get the ball back. Everybody is on their feet right now in this gym, including Belleville East fans, including Richwood Knight fans. The energy here is unmatched. It's a 3-point game, and Richwoods throws it into the paint, hoping that Lee would be there. Instead, there's 3 white jerseys. Now it's Yun. And an off-ball foul is going to get called on Kanaya Todd, her 2nd.
Knights fans are not happy about that one, but honestly, it's a pretty good foul there from Todd. Slow down the offense of the Lancers after that turnover. Now, if you're the Lancers on the other side of the ball, you just got a turnover, take advantage of it, try to make this a 2-possession game with less than 5:30 left to go here in this one.
They wanted to draw the clock out this quarter, but now you're in a point where you need buckets. And a ball that was over the shoulder of Bartleheim causes another turnover. A miss there from Haran, and stepping out of bounds is Richwoods. So the Lancers are going to go back with possession. It looks like Richwoods are setting up a full court press, something we haven't really seen this second half. They're not too physical on it, but they're still making a stance all the way down the floor. Fans wanted a carry. Instead, a travel is called. Turnover Knights.
Yeah, Kate, I'm standing up for
this.
Yeah,
we're getting on our feet.
We are in this game right now.
More or less so we can see, if we're being honest with you folks. And the student section with the "you can't do that" chant. It's a 3-point contest. This game has just been getting better and better. No matter what side of, no matter who you're rooting for, I mean, a close game is always an enjoyable one. Todd gets it to Somerville in the paint. Somerville loses the ball. Her teammate Lee picks it up. Lee trying to dish it out, but she steps out of bounds. Another turnover by stepping over that baseline.
And again, these turnovers are going to be going left and right. Both teams are very energetic right now, Caden, and trying to go fast pace. And the Knights are just trying to get a quick score to get this game within 1 or even tie it at this point.
Lancers with a 3-point lead, 4:45 here to go in regulation. It's Bartleheim. She gets it out to Yun. Yun to Stacy. Stacy, unguarded three. She drains it.
And a big three there from her, able to get it. Wide open shot. Make it a 6-point game by 4:30 left here in this fourth quarter. Knights have a chance to get a bucket right now.
Vanessa Stacy, the sophomore, with her first points of the game. First three for Belleville East in the quarter. It's a 6-point game, mid-range for Todd. Too hard off the back of the rim. Now a jump ball contested by Lee and Gray. Arrow is going towards the Knights.
Possession will stay with the Knights right now, but the arrow will flip on over after that jump ball.
Todd drives and blocked. A big block there by the 5'10 sophomore Bartleheim. Now in transition, a turnover for the Knights. That's the storyline of this game, Gabe, is who's going to benefit most off these turnovers.
It's an eye for an eye right now, Kate. When one team gets a turnover, the other one gets it right back. That's been the story this whole entire game.
You more or less, if you're the coaching staffs, want to just tell them to calm down, take some deep breaths, work slower. If you're the Knights, you working fast has clawed you back into this game. It's a 6-point deficit. That pass from Haran to try and feed Somerville down low, a little bit to her right, and so Lancers will get the ball back.
And Haran there just threw it a little bit over Somerville. Try to find her in the paint. We saw her talking to Somerville right in the middle court, saying that she had to move to her left a little bit. So both teams really getting passionate and energetic here in this one. 3:30 left here in quarter 4.
Somerville was guarding Young in the arc. No big was in the paint, but the shot was missed.
Jump ball will go to the Lancers.
Jump ball there. Possession will stay with the Lancers in their own territory.
Belleville East, 50 points so far. The Dave Snell magic number was 49 for this contest. If you don't know what the Dave Snell magic number is, it means there's a 98% chance the team that gets to the number first is the winning team. But in a close game like this, with so much time on the clock, you can't really put that into much consideration.
And with the way both these teams are playing on the turnover game and taking advantage of those mistakes that their opponent makes. This game could go either way right now. Still 3 minutes left on the clock. Still plenty of time for the Knights to do something.
Gray feeding it into the post, and a foul is called on Brock. The junior has had to sit for the fourth quarter because she's at 4 fouls. Now back into the game. She draws one and will shoot. Kira Lee for the Knights, the one picking up her second.
And the Knights' 4th foul of this quarter so far, so they're going to have to be careful on the defensive side of the ball. Do not want to foul again. Get the team into the bonus.
Brock, no points today, misses her first free throw. I can only anticipate that'll make this gym even louder.
Yeah, and we already hear them getting really loud over there. Cheerleaders are in the student section. We see in the front row over there a few fans in suits. This crowd is getting really loud for this free throw.
And she misses both, but Bart Laheim is able to get the rebound. Stacy for 3, off of the back iron, and Todd able to come up with a rebound. So even with a second chance, Belleville East not able to make any points. 2:50 left to go, 6-point game.
And they are really putting pressure on Haran right now. Do not want her to get open behind the arc because they know what she has done. She has been lethal from behind the arc today.
Haran hits her head hard on this floor. She's grasping at her skull. Oh, now she's just mad. I think she's in a little bit of pain. I think she's just more upset that she let go of the ball and it went out of bounds.
She's a little shaken up there, but definitely she's a very passionate player. I mean, we see her on the court. We saw her get very excited whenever she hit those big shots. Just someone that cares a lot about the game and a lot about this team and success.
The officials check on her, make sure she's okay. We play on. Lancers inbound, not able to find anyone. Very hard pass. Somerville now doing a great job trying to contain, but the speed of Bart Laheim goes coast to coast past Somerville. Able to get a rebound, kicks it out. Down low, it's Brock, and Brock gets an and one. The Lancer fans are on their feet.
And great ball movement there from the Lancers. Able to get the Richwoods defenders jumping up and down, trying to pressure them behind the arc, and then able to find open Brock in the paint for an easy layup and an and one. Knights have reached 5 fouls in this quarter, and a timeout will be called.
Lee with her 3rd foul. They're going to check Kira Lee with her 4th foul. So they're going to check Magnolia Lee, the freshman, into this game. I didn't want to confuse people with the double Lee there. So Brock goes to the stripe. She was just 0 for 2 on the last possession that the Lancers had down here on the floor. From the charity stripe, she makes that one.
We have seen the momentum shift back and forth here in this 4th quarter. Richwoods felt like they were going to come back and tie this game up, but the Lancers doing a great job hushing down the crowd.
It's going to be a timeout for the Knights. 2:15 to go, and Coach Shamar Hill calls his second to last, stopping the clock with 2:15 in a 9-point game.
And you still got a timeout to work with right now, and you're only down by 9. I think the game plan right now is try to get Haran to open behind the arc. We have seen what she has done this game so far and what she has done all season. Get her behind the arc, get her an open shot that she is able to hopefully make and get you back into this game.
She's got 16 points in the second half alone. She scored 13 in the game against Morris to be here tonight. Look, this has been an incredible basketball game, but what did we talk about? Capitalizing on turnovers and making a defensive stand. The Knights haven't had a defensive stop that's turned into positive points in the last couple minutes, and that's what's allowed the Lancers to get back into this game.
And we have seen the Lancers take advantage of those mistakes that the Knights have made, whether it's a turnover, whether it's a missed shot, and they grab a defensive rebound and go back in transition to get an easy layup. The Lancers have done that this whole entire game, and that is why they are up by 9 points. But the Knights have fought back this entire way, got it within 4 points. Now you're down by 9, but you still got 2 minutes left. The clock is not your friend. You have to make some plays right here, right now.
Into the post. Somerville backing her opponent down, and a clean bucket for London. Now Todd against Gray.
We saw the Lancers with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, or in last quarter, just pass the ball around. It looks like that's what they're going to try to do right now, try to chew as much clock as possible.
They've got the sophomore Todd on the best player, and they're going to call, not sure if they called a double dribble, a travel. I don't know what it was, but it is a turnover, Knights ball.
I'm not entirely too sure what the call was, Caden, but nonetheless, Knights had the ball. Again, those fouls, those mistakes Lancers make, trying to make them pay for their mistakes this entire game. Now's a chance to do it.
The plan was to get Somerville down low. She missed that one, and Knights forced the Lancers to go out of bounds, but they're the last to touch it.
1:28 left here in quarter number 4. 53 Lancers, 46 Knights. And Lancers are going to go to the line as they have officially reached the bonus.
The foul is going to go on Todd. And so to the free throw line, because we're in the bonus, is Ramaya Yun. Yun in this contest has got 14. She's got 2 more opportunities to add to her total, and she makes the first. 1:28 on the clock, Gabe, and currently an 8-point contest.
It's going to be a very tight finish right now, Caden. I mean, the Knights, or the Lancers, are in the bonus now. They have been playing great basketball to this point as that free throw is missed. Knights have to respond quickly right here.
Somerville down low makes the bucket again.
Somerville playing her heart out right now in the paint, able to just get some easy layups through contact, touch it off the glass. 1:10 left here in quarter number 4.
11 points in the second half for Somerville, as the Lancers once more are trying to just burn the clock, but losing the dribble is the Lancers. Knights are on top of the basketball, but I think Knights fans are on their feet. They're not liking this call. I think they're going to award a timeout to, they're calling a timeout for Belleville East.
That is a smart timeout there by the Lancers. You saw your player was in trouble there. You saw that they were not able to keep control of the ball, call it, and get it going. Great call there to stop the clock and talk strategy with your team and try to chew out as much clock as you can. You got 58 seconds left, 6-point lead. Do not make a turnover. Do not give the Knights a chance to make some noise.
By the time the whistle was blown, you had 2 options: award the timeout or give a jump ball. If you waited a half second off of that whistle, you probably could have just given the ball to the Knights off of a steal, but the timeout was already there, so it's null and void.
It's one of those where every second counts there. One official saw the timeout going and called it. Maybe it seemed like it was a little bit late, or could not get it going, but nonetheless, Lancers can't maintain possession of the ball. 54-48 is the score. 58 seconds left. Knights need to get some defensive pressure, try to get a quick steal, and get this ball back in their possession.
Here come the Lancers. In the paint, unguarded, it's Renaya Yun for another bucket for Yun. 45 seconds to go, an 8-point game. The Knights needing to get a 3 quickly. They're taking a lot of time. They're driving into the paint. Somerville gets stolen on a pass to Somerville. Gray thought about getting the 2. Instead, she passed it to Stacy. And Coach Hill is trying to call for a foul, but they're not able to get anyone. Magnolia Lee could have just drawn a foul. Instead, she didn't. Now the Lancers are just going to dribble this one out. Finally, a foul from the Knights. Gabe, that took 30 seconds.
Great offensive possession there by the Lancers. They could have taken an easy layup there to go up by 10 points, but they decided to focus on what is more important right now. Focusing and winning this game, and they did just that. Able to take off 30 seconds off of this clock. 12.6 seconds left. Now they are at the line for 2 free throws, and it's looking like the Lancers are going to be winning this game.
Richwoods have a lot of players with 3 to 4 fouls. I think they were very nervous to be the one that fouled, but then even the freshman Magnolia Lee's got 0. She, I don't think, just recognized the situation they were in. They might have been able to make a comeback, but now it's going to be a 10-point game with 12 seconds to go, Gabe.
It's going to be a very tough comeback right now, Caden, but March basketball is right around the corner. We've seen a lot of comebacks. 10 seconds.
Vanessa Stacy makes both for the Lancers. 8 to go. Haran chucks up a 3, hits front rim. Todd gets the rebound. Todd makes a layup attempt, and it's no good. The Belleville East Lancers are winning their first sectional title since 2006 on the Richwood Knights home floor.
And just an amazing game right for the Lancers. They play their hearts out the entire way. We see them celebrating at center court and now shaking hands with the Knights after a very close and well-played game. Lancer fans are excited. You see a few of them right now with pom-poms in the air. They're really excited and proud of this team. Amazing work by the Lancers and this team to win their first sectional since 2006. What an achievement.
I mean, half the players on this team weren't even born the last time they won a sectional. A huge congratulations to Sharday King, her entire staff, and everyone a part of the Lancers team, whether it be the cheerleaders who just ran onto the floor, whether it be the fans who traveled 2.5 hours to this contest, and of course the ones who did it, who brought it home, those athletes on the floor. A big congratulations to Haley Gray, Ramaya Yun, who together earned 21 and 17 points of the 58 for the Lancers.
And each and every single player played their hearts out. I mean, everyone did their job when they needed to the most. When they needed a rebound, someone got it. When they needed a big three-pointer, we saw Haley Gray hit a few of those. When they needed to make some plays on offense or make some plays on defense and get a turnover, each and every single player did it. This isn't just an individual team, or this isn't just an individual effort. This is a whole team to make it at this point.
Well, this was the second Richwoods loss on home floor this season. The first came against Loyola Academy. This game very close, just a 10-point game. One could have thought at halftime that the Lancers were going to pull away with this one if they played the way they had. Instead, the Knights came out. The Knights took a stand, got this game to within 3 at more than 1 point here in the fourth quarter. They're just not able to close, and so their season ends here tonight on their home floor in the sectional title.
And I will say, a 10-point loss it doesn't tell the whole story of this game. I think this game was a lot more closer than what the scoreboard says in itself. Just the way that they've played.
Most certainly.
Both. I mean, the Knights play their hearts out. What an amazing season for them as well. First season back in 4A, and they made it to this point, and very close game, and lost to a team that just played their hearts out and played the best game of basketball that they probably played all season against a tough opponent. Congratulations to the Lancers, and also congratulations to the Knights on one heck of a season. This is a team that each and every Richwoods player, Shamar Hill, and the entire Richwoods community should be proud of.
Belleville East came in, got the job done, and performed a prolific performance. But tip of the cap, as you said, to Richwoods. If a couple more shots fell their way and bounced a different way off the rim, this would have been a completely different verdict. Have to give a couple shout-outs to the Richwoods seniors. Haley Davis started today's game. Abrina Moore, a senior. Kamaya Hunt, a senior. She had a big 3 in that second quarter, the only 3 for this team in the first half. as well as Kira Lee, who was able to grab a bucket there in the second quarter. I will say the 3 seniors combined 5 points out of the 48 for the Knights, so a very bright future for this Richwoods squad.
Yes, and I talked about Magnolia Lee and her game that she had against Moline on Tuesday, but this team has a lot that's going for them as well. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of great momentum going for the Knights. Coach Hill has done a great job with his team and what they have done so far. And again, it's a big accomplishment. I go back to it. It's a big accomplishment first year in 4A and making it at this point in the season. Definitely got to be proud of this team and where it's at. It hurts to see a loss in this way, but got to be proud of what you have accomplished this season and look at the bigger picture of what the future is going to hold for Richwoods girls basketball. 18
for Huron, a junior. 14 for Somerville, a junior. 10 for Todd, a sophomore. A lot more to come there. We already talked about them, but Haley Gray with 21 and Ramaya Young with 17 to lead Belleville East to play another 30 minutes up north if they didn't feel like they traveled far enough today over at Illinois Wesleyan. Lucky enough for them, they won't have to go any further for the state finals if they're able to pull it out against whoever they face off, whether it be Chicago Marist or Flossmoor for the Super Sectional.
And I'm excited to see what the future has in store for the Lancers as well. Big win for them here today, winning sectional, but now you have a chance to go and play for state. And just the way that they came out here and played today, I can already see that they are going to be a problem, and they're going to be making a lot of noise going into playing for state. So I'm excited to see what this team has to offer. It was an honor watching them play today and seeing them win their first sectional since 2006, but being able to see what they're going to do in the future, that's definitely exciting.
Thank you for tuning in to our free audio broadcast here on Clutch Sports Media. If you would like to be a sponsor of any Clutch Sports Media game in the future, we like to do as many of these playoff games as we can, but we can't without your help. You get to reach all of Peoria and all of the athletic community by being a sponsor with us. Contact Clutch Sports Media at gmail.com. It's all the information's on our website if you are looking for information to sponsor us. That does it for us here today in Richwoods. The Lancers win by 10, 58-48, and come home with the sectional title. Along with Gabriel Holowoka, my name is Caden Sexton. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time.